Lawrence Joseph Ellison, born August 17, 1944, is an American businessman and entrepreneur who co-founded software company Oracle Corporation. He was Oracle's chief executive officer from 1977 to 2014 and is now its chief technology officer and executive chairman. As of January 20th, 2025, he is the fourth wealthiest person in the world, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, with an estimated net worth of $188 billion US, and the second wealthiest in the world according to Forbes, with an estimated net worth of $237 billion. Ellison is also known for his ownership of 98% of Lanai, the sixth largest island in the Hawaiian Islands. Ellison was born on August 17, 1944, in New York City to Florence Spellman, an unwed Jewish mother. His biological father was an Italian-American United States Army Air Corps pilot. After Ellison contracted pneumonia at the age of 9 months, his mother gave him to her aunt and uncle for adoption. He did not meet his biological mother again until he was 48. Ellison moved to Chicago's South Shore, then a primarily Jewish middle-class neighborhood. He remembers his adoptive mother, Lillian Spellman Ellison, as warm and loving, in contrast to his austere, unsupportive, and often distant adoptive father, who had chosen the name Ellison to honor his point of entry into the United States, Ellis Island. Lewis Ellison was a government employee who had made a small fortune in Chicago real estate, only to lose it during the Great Depression. Although Ellison was raised in a Reform Jewish home by his adoptive parents, who attended synagogue regularly, he remained a religious skeptic. At age 13, Ellison refused to have a bar mitzvah celebration. Ellison states, "While I think I am religious in one sense, the particular dogmas of Judaism are not dogmas I subscribe to. I don't believe that they are real. They're interesting stories. They're interesting mythology. And I certainly respect people who believe these are literally true. But I don't. I see no evidence for this stuff." Ellison says that his fondness for Israel is not connected to religious sentiments, but rather due to the innovative spirit of Israelis in the technology sector. Ellison attended South Shore High School in Chicago and later was admitted to University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and was enrolled as a pre-med student. At the university, he was named Science Student of the Year. He withdrew without taking final exams after his sophomore year because his adoptive mother had just died. After spending the summer of 1966 in California, he then attended the University of Chicago for one term, where he studied physics and mathematics and also first encountered computer design. He then moved to Berkeley, California, and began his career as a computer programmer for different companies. During the 1970s, after a brief stint at Amdahl Corporation, Ellison began working for Ampex Corporation. His first project included a database for the CIA, codenamed Oracle. Ellison was inspired by a paper written by Edgar F. Codd on relational database systems called A Relational Model of Data for Large Shared Data Banks. In 1977, he founded Software Development Laboratories, SDL, with 2 partners and an investment of $2.000. $1.200 of the money was his. In 1979, the company renamed itself Relational Software. Incorporated. Ellison had heard about the IBM system or database, also based on Codd's theories, and wanted Oracle to achieve compatibility with it. But IBM made this impossible by refusing to share System R's error codes. The initial release of the Oracle database in 1979 was called Oracle version 2. There was no Oracle version 1. In 1983, the company officially became Oracle Systems Corporation after its flagship product. In 1990, Oracle laid off 10% of its workforce because it was losing money. This crisis, which almost resulted in the company's bankruptcy, came about because of Oracle's upfront marketing strategy, in which salespeople urged potential customers to buy the largest possible amount of software all at once. The salespeople then booked the value of future license sales in the current quarter, thereby increasing their bonuses. This became a problem when the future sales subsequently failed to materialize. Oracle eventually had to restate its earnings twice and had to settle class action lawsuits arising from its having overstated its earnings. Ellison would later say that Oracle had made an incredible business mistake. In 1994, Informix overtook Sybase and became Oracle's most important rival. The intense war between Informix CEO Phil White and Ellison was front-page Silicon Valley News for 3 years. In April 1997, Informix announced a major revenue shortfall and earnings restatements. Phil White eventually landed in jail, and IBM absorbed Informix in 2001. Also in 1997, Ellison was made a director of Apple Computer after Steve Jobs returned to the company. Ellison resigned in 2002. With the defeat of Informix and of Sybase, Oracle enjoyed years of industry dominance until the rise of Microsoft SQL Server in the late 1990s and IBM's acquisition of Informix Software in 2001 to complement their DB2 database. As of 2013, Oracle's main competition for new database licenses on Unix, Linux, and Windows operating systems comes from IBM's DB2 and from Microsoft SQL Server. IBM's DB2 still dominates the mainframe database market. In 2005, Ellison agreed to settle a 4-year-old insider trading lawsuit by offering to pay $100 million to charity in Oracle's name. In 2005, Oracle Corporation paid Ellison a $975,000 salary, a $6,500,000 bonus, and other compensation of $955,100. In 2007, Ellison earned a total compensation of $60,180,524, which included a base salary of $1,000,000, a cash bonus of $8,369,000, and options granted of $50,087,100. In 2008, he earned a total compensation of $84,598,700, which included a base salary of $1,000,000, a cash bonus of $10,779,000, no stock grants, and options granted of $71,372,700. In the year ending May 31st, 2009, he made $56.8 million. In 2006, Forbes ranked him as the richest Californian. In April 2009, after a tug-of-war with IBM and Hewlett-Packard, Oracle announced its intent to buy Sun Microsystems. On July 2nd, 2009, for the 4th year in a row, Oracle's board awarded Ellison another 7 million stock options. On August 22, 2009, it was reported that Ellison would be paid only $1 for his base salary for the fiscal year of 2010. down from the $1.000.000 he was paid in fiscal 2009. The European Union approved Oracle's acquisition of Sun Microsystems on January 21, 2010, and agreed that Oracle's acquisition of Sun has the potential to revitalize important assets and create new and innovative products. The Sun acquisition also gave Oracle control of the popular MySQL open-source database, which Sun had acquired in 2008. On August 9, 2010, Ellison denounced Hewlett-Packard's board for firing CEO Mark Hurd, writing that the HP board just made the worst personnel decision since the idiots on the Apple board fired Steve Jobs many years ago. Then, on September 6, Oracle hired Mark Hurd as co-president alongside Safra Catz. Ellison remained in his current role at Oracle. In March 2010, the Forbes list of billionaires ranked Ellison as the sixth richest person in the world and as the third richest American, with an estimated net worth of over $28 billion. On July 27, 2010, the Wall Street Journal reported that Ellison was the highest-paid executive in the last decade, collecting a total compensation of $1.84 billion. In September 2011, Ellison was listed on the Forbes list of billionaires as the fifth richest man in the world and was still the third richest American, with a net worth of about $36.5 billion. In September 2012, Ellison was again listed on the Forbes list of billionaires as the third richest American citizen, behind Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, with a net worth of $44 billion. In October 2012, he was listed just behind David Hamilton Koch as the eighth richest person in the world. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Ellison owns stakes in Salesforce.com, NetSuite, Quark Biotechnology Incorporated, and Astex Pharmaceuticals. In June 2012, Ellison agreed to buy 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai from David Murdoch's company, Castle & Cooke. The price was reported to be between $500 million and $600 million. In 2013, according to the Wall Street Journal, Ellison earned $94.6 million. On September 18, 2014, Ellison appointed Mark Hurd to CEO of Oracle from his former position as president. Safra Catz was also made CEO, moving from her former role as CFO. Ellison assumed the positions of Chief Technology Officer and Executive Chairman. In November 2016, Oracle bought NetSuite for $9.3 billion. Ellison owned 35% of NetSuite at the time of the purchase, making him $3.5 billion personally. In 2017, Forbes estimated that Ellison was the fourth richest person in tech. In June 2018, Ellison's net worth was about $54.5 billion. According to Forbes, in December 2018, Ellison became a director on the board of Tesla, Inc. After purchasing 3 million shares earlier that year. Ellison left the Tesla board in August 2022. In 1992, Ellison shattered his elbow in a high-speed bicycle crash. After receiving treatment at University of California, Davis, Ellison donated $5 million to seed the Lawrence J. Ellison Musculoskeletal Research Center. In 1998, the Lawrence J. Ellison Ambulatory Care Center opened on the Sacramento campus of the UC Davis Medical Center to settle an insider trading lawsuit arising from his selling nearly $1 billion of Oracle stock. A court allowed Ellison to donate $100 million to his own charitable foundation without admitting wrongdoing. A California judge refused to allow Oracle to pay Ellison's legal fees of $24 million. Ellison's lawyer had argued that if Ellison were to pay the fees, that could be construed as an admission of guilt. His charitable donations to Stanford University raised questions about the independence of two Stanford professors who evaluated the case's merits for Oracle. In response to the September 11th terrorist attacks of 2001, Ellison made a controversial offer to donate software to the federal government that would have enabled it to build and run a national identification database and to issue ID cards. Forbes' 2004 list of charitable donations made by the wealthiest 400 Americans stated that Ellison had donated $151.092.103, about 1% of his estimated personal wealth. In June 2006, Ellison announced he would not honor his earlier pledge of $115 million to Harvard University, claiming it was due to the departure of former President Lawrence Summers. Oracle spokesman Bob Wynn announced, "It was really Larry Summers' brainchild, and once it looked like Larry Summers was leaving, Larry Ellison reconsidered. It was Larry Ellison and Larry Summers that had initially come up with this notion." In 2007, Ellison pledged $500,000 to fortify a community center in Sderot, Israel, after discovering that the building was not fortified against rocket attacks. Other charitable donations by Ellison include a $10 million donation to the Friends of the Israel Defense Forces in 2014. In 2017, Ellison again donated to the Friends of the Israel Defense Forces, this time for $16.6 million. His donation was intended to support the construction of well-being facilities on a new campus for co-ed conscripts. Ellison was an early investor in Theranos. In August 2010, a report listed Ellison as one of the 40 billionaires who had signed the Giving Pledge. In May 2016, Ellison donated $200 million to the University of Southern California for establishing a cancer research center, the Lawrence J. Ellison Institute for Transformative Medicine of USC. It was renamed the Ellison Institute of Technology, and an additional campus was established in Oxford in 2023 with the intention of providing a scholarship program for 20 students each year.